Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Veronica, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. My name is Veronica, and I'm an avid listener. I made a donation through PayPal and will donate regularly as I have a story that needs to be heard. I am a scapegoat who has been no contact with my narcissistic mother, the crone, for 10 years. I went no contact with my two flying monkey sisters about 5 years ago, but let the golden child back into my life to my own detriment. This is the story of me going no contact with the golden child for the last time. I posted a story on Reddit and want to share. Thank you. Feel free to use the real names of everyone involved. Name them and shame them. I have always been the scapegoat. My oldest sister is the golden child. My younger sister was the lost child with a few golden child leanings because my stepfather liked her. My stepfather was the enabler. I was abused by everyone, with my mother being the head crone. My first suicide attempt was at the age of 9. I left home at 17 and did not look back. I was still hounded and abused until I was able to flee the state with my then husband, my rescuer. It did not end there, as both of my sisters followed me from Virginia to Texas. They were still taking orders from the crone. While in Texas, my youngest sister stole my identity, and my oldest sister threatened to kill me in front of my children. Luckily, neither of them could hack it out here and moved back to Virginia a couple of years later. Fast forward about 3 years ago, my youngest sister has always been a fuck-up and had to move in with my mother and stepdad. A year later, my oldest sister lost her house and also moved into my mother's home. They fed on each other like wolves, but everything was okay so long as someone had the role of scapegoat, which was placed on my younger sister. During this time, I had heard from no one because they could not find me. Good times. My stepfather had a stroke about a bit ago and can no longer walk or talk. It is his karma now to remain frozen and forced to listen to the abusive crone he enabled against me all those years. Small victory in my book. Well, a year ago, the youngest sister was kicked out at the request of the golden child. She felt so triumphant, but now it gets good. Being that only the golden child, the crone, and the paralyzed enabler are left in the house, the crone had to get her supply from someone. She turned on the golden child. Now, for the past year, the golden child has called me at least 3 times a day to vent about the narcissistic abuse she is suffering. She is being called whore, stupid bitch, worthless. The crone is going after her children as well. The crone goes through her things, listens to her calls, and picks fights so she can blow up and get her rage on. The golden child can't take it. I barely heard from her over the past years, and now, all of a sudden, she cannot get enough of talking to me about her issues and how she is desperately trying to get away. She even mentioned moving back to Texas. She had me for a while. I would listen and ease her fears. I would tell her it would be okay. I would exhaust myself listening to her pain. Then I discovered Ollie Matthews. I know what is going on now. I am her emotional tampon. You see, I have never been given an apology, even though both of my sisters tortured me and went along with my mother well into adulthood. I never had anyone to talk to about the abuse growing up. No one defended me. No one protected me. I had to fight through the darkness alone. I made it to the light, but not without scars. And now this golden child son of a bitch thinks that she can unload her pain and misery on me. She thinks she can latch on to me and sap my strength to get her through another day. All the while still living in the home of the crone that damn near beat me to death and allowed her to beat me as well. I have listened to her for so long because she would throw me bits of validation, which scapegoats crave because we all just want our stories to be heard. Oh, Veronica, I told my mom last week how cruel she Oh, Veronica, I told Mom last week how cruel she was to you. Oh, Veronica, Mom cut you across the face because she was jealous of your looks, and it made me sick all those years ago. Really, bitch? Really? You say that as you sit in her home, eat her food, watch her television. Leave your children with her. You rub me on my head at the same time you transfer the emotional abuse you're receiving onto me, which leaves me with feelings of PTSD because I lived this shit for decades. You play me with sweet text messages and words of encouragement, knowing damn well you have never apologized for the role you played well into my 30s. Well, ride is over, bitch. I cut her off without a word Friday, 8/5/16. I have received voicemails and texts nonstop asking if I'm okay and if I have a moment to talk. I have no doubt that she is in a storm of abuse and gaslighting right now, and she needs me to unload like a crackhead needs a rock. My good nature and willingness to please made me invite a flying monkey back into my life to soothe her pain, even though they all watch as I attempted suicide 4 times over my life. It shows just how little my sister cares for and respects me. They all see me as the whipping post, the dumpster. I'm neither of those things. I'm stronger, smarter, healthier, and better than any of them, and they know it. Now I know it as well. I will not have anything to do with any relative who still communicates with the crone, knowing full well what she did to me. They need me. I don't need any of them. Let them all die slow in memory of Veronica. I want to find support groups for survivors of this type of secret, calculated abuse. My stories are the stuff of nightmares, but I learned that the truth is the kryptonite of these people. I'm going to start talking and never stop. Yeah, I mean, what your sister is doing is what golden children do when you go no contact. They got to get the narcs got to get their supply from somewhere. Okay, it started with the younger sister. She's out. Now it's the older sister. Then what? But your older sister is the real problem, because your older sister is doing to you exactly what my brother Precious did to me. Bitches calls, bitches moans, this, that, the other thing. Oh, this happened, that happened. I always supported you. But yet he allowed them to, pay for an engagement party for their wedding. He goes, spends holidays with them and my ex-wife and my child. And, it's how this channel came to be. It's how it came to be so big. I had posted Phone Call from Narcissistic Mother in the first 6 videos, my life with narcissistic parents. And I kept quiet about them. But he was the one who told me to fucking make them public and put them out in front of my parents and let them know. And there would have been, if you hadn't cut off your sister, there would have been that moment. There would have been that moment where your sister, the golden child, would have tried to drag you back in. There would have been that moment where, okay, here's your scapegoat. Would have put you out there in front of the crone. She would have suckered you in for you to be bait for the crone. And then the crone, you would have been back as the scapegoat, and she would have been back as the golden child. That's what all this is about. All these text messages and all that, and I think you figured that out already, was just a way to put the target back on your back. Because that's what the golden child does. That's what they all do once the golden child becomes the scapegoat. They're coming after you. They're coming after you because they don't like it and they want the dynamic to go back to the way it was. So, and you're right. You cut everybody out who has any contact with that crone because it's pointless. And what good is yelling at your stepfather? You can't even yell back. Just got to sit there and take it. That's no fun for her. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose, or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with my email and my PayPal link in the description box. I'll have a video right back to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon. Bye.